Hey there, everybody. It's Mike DeLisio with another Dice Tower Daily Unboxing. And today, we're going to be taking a look at Posthuman Saga from Mighty Boards Games and designer Gordon Kaleha. Looks like we're from 1 to 4 players, about 30 minutes per player. A competitive tactical survival adventure set in the post-apocalyptic world of Posthuman. Posthuman was a game that came out a few years back, set in this kind of post-apocalyptic setting that we see here. And from what I understand, this is a bit of a reworking that kind of takes in some of the mechanics of the original game and maybe adjusts them and streamlines them, or perhaps adds. I don't really know. I've not seen anything about the game until right now, and we'll take a look at it together. The game can be played in 3 modes: solo, 2 to 4 players competitive, or team versus. It combines Euro mechanics with a finely crafted story to create an experience that will challenge your system-busting skills while immersing you in a rich post-apocalyptic world. Well, it's a big box with a whole lot of components, so we're going to take a brief overview. In an unboxing, I'm not trying to get a whole lot of information out there, just kind of show you what's in the box. All right, here we've got our rule book. Here we've got our contents, pre-game organization, the game setup. You got the common setup, and then your character board anatomy, the player setup, different stats, boosts, counters, the game objectives. The player with the most victory points at the end of the game wins. There are 5 ways to score victory points. You can complete your mission objective. You can complete your side mission. You complete the recon objective. You can defeat a mutant boss, or you can spend XP, which I assume are going to be experience points. And then it goes into those different ways that you score points here: the mission objectives, side mission, recon objectives. All right, you've got different areas of the map. They describe the different areas of the map here: the starting zones, the landmarks, and the terrain tiles. You've got story encounters, and they've got an example of that. And then we go into the actual meat of the game. You've got the round summary. Each round has 3 phases: the morning phase, the day phase, and the night phase. And it goes into detail about each of these phases and what takes place. We've got our different actions, which are similar to the original Posthuman game, where you've got camping, foraging, mapping, and trekking. Okay. Moving and marching. Combat encounters. This is obviously a part of the game where you are potentially encountering some dangerous inhabitants out there in the post-human universe, and so you might need to engage in combat, and it goes through an example of how you do that. We've got some additional rules where you suffer mutations, gaining XP and spending XP, the mutant bosses getting knocked out. The end of the game: when a player defeats a mutant boss, the end of the game is triggered. The game ends when that round was over. Otherwise, it ends when round 16 is over. Then you've got different modes here: the team versus mode and the solo mode. And that's it. Except for this icon glossary. Obviously, a lot of symbology here. We've got our different stories 1 through 70, and I'm not going to show you much of this because I don't want to spoil anything, but you can see here that you've got a relatively large full-color book with story elements to the game as well. We've got a solo mission here, a whole lot of cardboard. So what I'm going to do is just kind of show you the whole sheets, punch out one so you can see these are fine thickness. These are going to be the tiles that you use to kind of build the world there. A lot of small tiles that are going to be for different effects, perhaps characters. There we go. Just going to kind of give you an overview of these so you can see what they're like. There we go. Let's look at our board here. It is a large board. This is immense. And we're not getting it all on camera here. I can kind of give you an idea here. You've got the player order here. You've got the round marker here. Event deck here. The starting area. A reminder of the round order on both sides. Morning, day, and night. Our mission VPs here. Recon objectives there. Victory points there. You're going to be placing those tiles out onto this map. But it's a large, large map, as you can see. Let's look at our player boards here. They are thick with places to put what I assume are going to be pegs of some sort, which I'm sure we'll look at here in a moment. But we've got one for all 4 of the players. We've got some mutant bosses here, which, as we saw, was one way to trigger the end game. It's defeating a mutant boss. Show you some of those. We've got some reference cards here. It looks like, oh, mission objectives. All right. Hideouts, vaults, Cloister of the Pure One, mission objective. The zoo. All right. We've got some dice. Combat is, if it's anything like the first game, dice driven. We've got a lot of dice here. Custom, multicolored, etched dice. Show you some of these. There we go. Show you some examples of each. Actually, I'll just show them all to you, color by color. There we go. And if it was anything like the first game, you can potentially unlock certain abilities that are corresponding to particular colored dice. That may make your combat more successful, may allow you to do more things. We've got a couple of kind of velvet drawstring bags here that are printed on. They're not exactly large enough to get my hand fully in. I'm not sure how necessary that is. I can reach the bottom of the bag with my fingers. So there's that. Here are those pegs that I was talking about that will slot right into those boards. Let's try one out here. So if I've got this peg, it slots into that bottom area there, as you can see. We've also got some cubes, black and red wooden cubes. Standard, nothing remarkable or out of the ordinary there. They're perfectly usable and fine. A whole lot of cards. Let's look at the minis here first. These are I assume are going to be the character minis. All right. Second one. There we go. A couple more here. They all look like they're ready to head into post-apocalyptic battle. There we go. And then the last one. There we go. All right. And then a whole lot of cards. I'm going to make sure. I don't believe there's anything. Nope, nothing hiding under the insert that I can see here. Got a lot of cards, mostly of the small variety, but we'll look at some of these large cards first. And I'm not going to show every one of these cards. There's hundreds of them. But just give you an idea of what some of the cards look like, the iconography, the artwork, etc. There's the biologist, the cage fighter, the guard, the scavenger, and the scout. And then the different action cards that you can play to denote what action you're going to take. All right, some landmark cards, event cards, mission VPs for the team versus or 2-player, recon objectives for 3 to 4 players. I'm not sure exactly. These might be story cards. And if so, I don't want to spend too much time on those. I don't want to spoil anything. Some wild dogs here. Urban Ganger, I believe. All right. Doomsayer. All right, these are people you don't want to run into, clearly. Here are some mutant enemies. Different stats on them. What it would take to defeat these different enemies. So you got human enemies and mutant enemies. And again, if it's like anything like the first game, if I remember correctly, you can become infected if you fight a mutated enemy. They could potentially infect you. It's been a little while since I've played, but I seem to remember something along those lines. Here's the largest deck of the small cards. I'll just kind of show you some of these because this is a massive deck. Different types of attacks. All right, looks like different types of abilities. Skill upgrades. Flurry of blows. Perfect footwork. Yeah, things that are going to increase your abilities. Different weapons, items. All right. We've got the idea here. It's just a whole lot of cards to go through. We'll look through one more small deck here. Let's look through. These look like enemies. No, followers. All right. Different followers you might meet in your journeys in the post-apocalyptic universe here. Posthuman world. Mutation cards. Bent spine. Twitchy spasms. Spitter stench. Oh, I don't think I want that one. Actually, I'm sure I don't want any of these. All right, well, that gives you a pretty good idea, I think, of what you'll find inside the box of Posthuman Saga. Thank you for watching another Dice Tower Daily Unboxing.
Thanks so much for watching another Dice Tower video. If you enjoy our videos, subscribe to the channel for more fun, comprehensive board game coverage. Also, consider joining us at one of our events. Come to Dice Tower Retreat, a small, intimate gathering where gaming is king. Join us for Dice Tower Cruise, the largest board game cruise. Attend Dice Tower West in Las Vegas for gaming fun on the West Coast, or Dice Tower East in Orlando in sunny Florida. Dice Tower Conventions, the friendliest gaming conventions on Earth. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.